Oh, you're the best. Hey, Scott, we are live.
All
It's the
right, we're live. We're
it's
live. Look at this. We're live. All right.
it's the Lynn and Scott show. We will be right back, and we're going to talk about the fear of letting go. We'll be right back.
Grab your friends, find your enemies and make amends, and we'll meet in the middle. Take the pride and set it aside. My hands will build you a shield, and we'll solve the riddle. And we'll remember these times, we'll remember these times. Oh, oh, oh. And we'll remember these times, we'll remember these times. Oh, oh, oh.
Where did he go? Scott was right here. I don't know what happened, but Scott, I'm sure, will be right back. Hey, everyone, it is the Lynn and Scott show. And Scott, I think he kicked himself out. He was dancing too much in the background, and then the music came up, and who knows? But he'll be right back. There he is. Were you dancing so much you just hit the wrong damn thing?
I went to brush something off my computer. I had like a couple of my guitar picks, and I went to brush them off, and I turned off the show. Next thing I know, I'm looking at my Gmail. Hello, Sandra. How are you?
Thank you for being here. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Folks, don't try this at home. We're professionals here, okay? This is how professionals do it. We turn our cameras off. We turn our mics off. We're going to, pretty soon dogs will be barking. All that stuff will be happening. That's how we roll here. That's what happens when your studio's at home, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness. Getting my nails done and said, hey, there they go, and get to watch you both. Well, we're honored that you're here, Sandra. Thank you so much.
Wait. Sandra, you're getting your nails done right now while you're watching us?
Yes.
Because that is like badass right there.
I know, right?
And that is awesome.
She's got her ear pods on, I'm sure. So she's just sitting there.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Yes, she is. And
go for the whole mani-pedi, because there's nothing like a good pedicure. Let me tell you.
There you go.
Do the whole 9 yards. And, you got the AirPods in.
Yeah, hopefully they're charged up for the whole darn show. So, yeah, pedicure too. Yep.
Pedicure too.
Absolutely. She got the works going on. We love it.
I wouldn't mind having a pedicure right now while I'm doing the show.
Yeah.
No. I got no people. I got no people. I'd have to do it myself, and that's just not something we need to see.
No. Indeed, self-care. Absolutely. I was doing self-care right before the show. I was having me some tea and honey. My throat.
And, well, I've always got my Java going, so I'm good.
Yeah, and I was cold, so I had my sweater on, and I was just like, I need some tea. So, but anyhow, you got a lot of busy stuff going on here soon there, mister.
Yeah, I'm going to apologize to everybody in advance, and as much I love you guys, and this is great, but for the next 2 Tuesdays, I'm going to be on the road. I got to be in Atlanta next week, and then the week after I have to be in Tampa, and I'm teaching and training and doing all that stuff, and so this is all part of what I do. Generally, we don't go on the road that often, but every once in a while we do. It just happened to double up this time. So Lynn's going to either find a guest host, and anyone out there.
So maybe Sandra, or maybe I'll get Christopher Rausch. Maybe Sandra won't be at a pedicure appointment, and maybe I can get her to sit in with me.
No, she'll come on. She'll be having her legs waxed or something. She'll just come on and join you.
She'll be like, it could be the Lynn and Sandra. That would be really cool. So
wherever I am, I will be watching and tuning in somehow, unless I'm actually in the air in a flight. But I don't think I'm flying that late. So I'll definitely do that.
She goes, that's another place.
Yowza. No. Conversations cannot be had during that time.
Yeah,
all right, so Lynn, it's been, I haven't talked to you a lot this week just because I've been going crazy with a lot of things going on. I know you weren't feeling well for a couple of days. What's going on? How you doing?
Well, I'm doing a lot better. I've got my voice, and I'm grateful, and I'm just happy. I'm just a little bit behind the schedule with all my shows and everything, but you know what? That's okay. That's what's nice about having your own shows and things. You just go with the flow. I mean, I was gonna do some debuting, some health things and this and that, and I think I'm like, it's okay. I can back it up a week.
Yeah, yeah,
I can take a week to get going and
yeah. So
yeah.
phone
Some
calls
people
and everything. We're just
phone calls. I'm live right now with Scott. Bye.
who is it?
That's my friend Steve, Scuba Steve. He should know better, but
Steve,
oh
get
well.
on the air. Come on,
I know. I sent him a message. I don't know.
doing
He
the
just
phone
didn't get the
calls.
memo. I know, right? So anyhow, but anyhow, yeah, no, I'm doing great. Everything's going, according to schedule as far as things. It just was taking self-care, just taking care of myself. And
Which
so I'm feeling
everybody
better.
needs to do. We all get run down sometimes. We all get
Hmm.
a little sick sometimes. Nobody's perfect. You get it. It just happens. Take care of yourself. Get an extra couple hours sleep. Drink some tea with honey. Do those things. Take care of yourself. There you go. You got your tea with honey in your
And
magic invisible cup. She got that from the Harry Potter collection. It's
matter of
nice.
fact, on TikTok, I saw some guy had a box and he goes, I got me something from the Harry Potter store. And it was so cool. And I didn't think of it till just now. I was like, how do you do that? But then he just kept going like this. And next thing you know, is go like this. And it looked like he was invisible. He took a blanket and it was like, oh, this is so cool. He had a green
You
screen.
can
Like,
do that.
yeah, I was like, now I'm telling
You get to
secrets.
you get to choose your chroma key color, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, you
So
could do that. You could
yeah,
do
hi, Michael.
Michael.
Thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you
So,
so much, Michael.
yeah. So,
Appreciate you being
anyways,
here.
yes, we do. There's quite a few people on here, so we appreciate you being here. But anyhow, our topic today for the fear of letting go. And actually, we kind of meshed a couple topics today together as far as how we
Yeah.
came about the topic. So, if you want to start with that. Oh, and there's my Scuba Steve. Thank you for
Steve,
showing up.
hey.
That just called me. Anyhow, so let's talk about our topic here, sir.
Well, one of the things that came to mind for me, Lynn, is because of what I do and working with people with addictions and mental health disorders, and people get themselves stuck into very bad places in their lives. And whether it's because of the drugs they're doing or the people that they're with, or just whatever it might be, maybe the job they're in or whatever. And it becomes so miserable for them. But after a period of time, that misery becomes comfortable. And that's why we see so many marriages or relationships that are not healthy. They stay together. Why? Because the misery became comfortable. And I can attest to that, from years ago. Certainly, this doesn't apply to like me and Therese, but this is back when I was younger. I was in relationships where it was very volatile and very mean and terrible. But I stayed in it because I was more comfortable with that than letting go of that and trying something new. So one of the things I wanted to bring up was we're afraid to let go, but have we really looked at what we're letting go of? Have we really turned and looked at it? Does it serve me? Is it healthy for me? Does it make me happy? Sandra, exactly. Dysfunctional becomes functional. When you do anything long enough, it just becomes natural and normal for us. But we have to be able to pull back and say, does it really serve me? And is it going to put me where I want to be? And then letting go becomes a little bit easier. But as long as we're staying in that, there's a big fear of letting go of things because we're comfortable. We're
Right.
comfortable.
What happens is it becomes because people don't want it. It's their fear of the unknown is really what happens. The fear of the unknown. They don't want to start thinking. They've been thinking those thoughts for so long. They haven't allowed themselves to think of newer thoughts. They haven't
Right.
allowed them to think, well, what if? What if things could be better? What would it be to not have to hear somebody yell at me? What would it be to allow myself to do what I want to do? What would it be to have the freedom to do? It's hard to know where to go. It's true, Steve, and I can say that in 2008, when things were crashing, people's worlds were crashing with stock and everything. My world was crashing when I was worried with the threats my husband was giving me. I wasn't prepared financially or anything. I wasn't prepared for the fact that I had to go get an order of protection. I was 8 hours at
Right.
the courthouse I was fearful of what my life was going to be like. I barely could even write my name, let alone write my paperwork for an order of protection.
And how much did you want to run while you were sitting there for 8 hours? How many times an hour did it come to your head? Let me
Dude,
just forget this, and I'll make everything okay. I'll just forget
dude,
this.
I was so scared. I was so scared, but I also knew that if I stayed, I didn't know if I was going to live to see my kids.
Right.
So I had no choice. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to do. And he was calling me, like, where are you? What are you doing? I was
Yeah.
so scared, and I had to go home and I didn't know how that night was going to be. It was the most awful thing to do. But that's where what happens sometimes is you're like, I had no other choice. I couldn't keep
Right.
going the way I was going, and I knew I had to do something different. And it's bad when you feel like you have no other alternative but to say, I need to take a leap of faith and I need to do something different. So,
Absolutely. And Steve, you made a good point. It was hard to know where to go.
yeah,
And I don't know if you meant to rhyme that, but it sounds nice. Hard to know where to go, if you say
yeah,
so. Anyway, even when we know where to go, let me paint a picture for everybody. I want you to picture this. You're standing at an airport. You're in New York City, and it's freezing and it's nasty weather and everything. And the sun is shining down in Miami, and you want to get on a plane and go to Miami. But as you put your one foot on the plane, your other foot will not leave the tarmac in New York. You just can't lift it up. You know where you're going is going to be better. You know it's going to be brighter and everything else. But even in our discomfort, it's hard to let go of it, even when we have something better waiting for us. And that's that human condition of better the devil we know. It's I don't know I can get down to Miami and the sunshine's great, but I'll get melanoma and I'll die. You
right,
come up with something.
right.
At least I know, where I belong in this situation, or maybe I don't deserve something better. That's a big one to face, right, Lynn? I mean,
Right.
that
Yeah.
thought of I don't really deserve something better. If I'm miserable, it's because I deserve to be miserable.
Well, and
Uh,
that's where unfortunately I wish other people had tools of mindset and knowing that they could change their mind and that they could be around people that had a better mindset or, safe place or, people that were compassionate enough to help you or know what you're going through, especially Generation X. We're real prideful. We don't share what's going on in our lives. It's very hard for, at least, my generation, our generation, to know what, to share. We weren't taught. Us kids, we were to be seen, not heard. You weren't
right.
supposed to talk about how you felt and have feelings and those kinds of things. So, keeping things in, and then when you explode like that, you don't have nobody that understands why you're exploding. It's very, very difficult. It's a difficult situation. And so, let's read some of these comments real
Yeah.
quick. Okay.
Sandra said something here.
Okay. Here we go.
Negotiate with ourselves below the line. Closed, not able to see beyond self-limiting beliefs. We need to
Hmm.
move above the line to become open, receptive um, to new options. I guess. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. Shannon, what's been up?
Hi, Shannon. Thanks for being here.
We'll
Um,
recap. We're all good.
I'm a boomer, even worse. Yep. Yep. Let's see here. Yeah, definitely grew up seen, not heard. Absolutely. We were taught to suck it up. Absolutely,
Yeah,
we were. And yeah, conscious leaders. The thing is this is where we're at now. If people knew that it is safe to think the opposite of what you grew up with, know that you have the right to not let people abuse you. You have the right to feel safe. You have the right to not be treated the way you've been treated. You have the right to have your to be safe and to have your space.
yeah, yeah,
But you have to let go of the self-talk you do to yourself as well. And I'm talking to myself too, especially with what knowledge I have had with my health. I have to let go of the way I've been talking to myself. I've been a mean girl to myself. I have to let go of that. And the fear of letting go of that is I have to let everybody know on a show. I got to be vulnerable and tell you how mean I've been to myself and how mean and what my image of myself is different now. Maybe I'll even do that next week. I may just have to do that next show next week, but it's bad because who I thought I was as an athlete and who I was as a sick person and a condition I had, I just ignored it. I just ignored it and refused to use that as an excuse, and I didn't see it for what it was, and yeah, heck yeah, I'm brutally honest. It's something nobody expects, but oh, and Teresa's here.
She
Also,
says,
I think there's
she says, also, I think there's a level of trust. Can you trust yourself enough to make decisions to change your life? That's a big one for me. I think that's a big one for a lot of people, Teresa. And thanks for joining us, by the way. We stole each other's topics. I was telling Lynn, she was talking about this the other day. Teresa was, before we brought it up as a topic.
Well, you know what, Teresa, and I'm going to answer kind of this. You have to remember, as far as when you say there's a level of trust, can you trust yourself enough? You got to remember the times that you didn't trust yourself, that you should have trusted yourself. How many times you said, I should have taken a right, and you didn't take a right, and then you found out, man, it would have been a right if it would have been great if I took a right. There's so many times we don't listen to our guts.
Yeah.
So it's those times when you say, look, this time I'm going to listen to my gut. And then sometimes it gets to those points when we are in a bad place that we know that's all we have is to trust our gut. That's the only opportunity we have.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but we don't have, we struggle in our life, but we don't have, that's one thing we need to tell ourselves. We don't have to struggle anymore, because when we do that, we're hurting ourselves. We're hurting ourselves for no reason.
Yeah.
Great comment, Teresa. And then definitely agree with Teresa. Yep.
Yeah.
So
all right. So just for everybody out there in podcast land, her name is Therese. There's no A at the end. It's Therese. So not Teresa. It's Therese. A few of you got it right. That's good.
Yeah.
But as far as everybody's concerned, I mean, this is all trusting yourself, having faith to take a leap, understanding that just because I'm moving on to something new doesn't mean that my life is automatically going to be better. Sometimes getting out of something and going into something new is just an opportunity for us to grow. And growth isn't always fun. It's not always the best thing. Teresa, she's been called worse. That's good. It's not always the best thing. I mean, it's like recently, this past year has been, it's been a full year now that my life has changed dramatically. That's drastically and dramatically all at the same time, dramatically. And all of it was designed so I could figure out a lot more about myself than I ever would have before. And, and along the way, I did things that I wish I didn't do in the past. And, but the bottom line is that when something new approaches us, staying stuck in the old just creates resentment. It creates anger. It creates that feeling of worthlessness and uselessness, because you feel like you're just kind of going around and around in a circle. And sometimes we got to try something new so we can figure out, what are those missing pieces of us that make us stay in those bad places. And,
absolutely.
I think everybody out there could agree. We've all had those relationships where Teresa and I, we did our thing, but there's other people in the past. There's been, sorry, misspelled my name. Who misspelled her name?
No, she's apologizing because she misspelled Teresa's name. You made her feel conscientious.
Okay. All right, sorry, misspelled name. Oh, I thought she said she misspelled her own name, and I was like,
no,
that's not good.
No.
Listen, bottom line is,
you want to read this one? Hi, Pam.
Being stuck is never a good place to be for anybody. Okay, I can't think of a time. This is Pamela. I can't think of a time when I trusted my gut and have regretted it. Very good. I can think of many times I didn't trust it.
Yep.
Look back and realize why had I had that gut feeling. Why I had that gut feeling to begin with. Absolutely. When you follow your gut, even if it doesn't work out, there is a sense of, all right, well, if I failed, at least I failed trying something, or I did something. But there's times when you had that gut feeling to go do something and you didn't do it. And then you look back, these are the guys who are like, oh, I should have bought stock in Apple back years ago. And I had it. And everybody goes back. And the funny thing is if we got to go live our lives over again and we could go back, even with knowledge we have today, I guarantee we would follow very similar paths as what we followed, because if we were capable of doing it differently, we would have done it.
Right.
Right.
Well, the thing is we're also fear of letting go of our stories, because that's where I'm at now. I'm fear of the fact that when I have to explain my diagnosis, which everybody's like, "Wow, Lynn, it makes sense." I mean, like all of my friends, like all of us, are not surprised with my diagnosis, but it's the fear of letting go, like of my stories, and what
Yeah.
I thought, and in anything, you're letting go of who you thought you were and who you are and what's going on and this and that, and it's just but then again, when you let go of things like that, now you understand why things were the way they were, and why things had to happen. Like, look at what's wonderful though. Once you see people has been in a terrible relationship, and then they've let go of that, and time has passed and time has healed and they moved on, and then all of a sudden they find the love of their life, they're happy and all these different things, you know you saw the next chapters happen,
Yeah.
and it's like, look at that. Once you let go, and that's why I love my live, love, laugh, and let go out loud. And I always love the let go out loud. What did you let go so that you could live, love, and laugh now? And I love that, because everybody's always the live, love, laugh. And I have no problems with that. But the let go out loud is very important, because that helps other people when they hear the stories of what people have been through before. It gives other people hope of what they can have if they let go of their shit and they let go of their fears or their excuses, so that they too
Absolutely.
can possibly have their happy endings. And that's very important to share.
It's funny. I was just sitting here thinking that as a parent, I'm sure most of us out there have kids and parents, and at one point you have that conversation with your kid, and you're just like, "Listen, the most important thing in life is that you're happy." And we'll say that to our children every day. Do what makes you happy, you know. And then we look in the mirror, and we're not capable of saying that to ourselves.
Yeah, right.
We're kind of like, we're like, well, if I'm not happy, why am I not allowed to speak up about it? And sometimes we do it because, and
You
I
know
can speak from
why?
experience. Sometimes we do it out of fear, and sometimes we do it because we don't want to hurt the people that we love. We don't want to hurt the people,
Mhm.
and I know that that's the case because I've been through that, where it's like I want to say things, but I don't say them because I don't want to hurt the people. But it ends up hurting people more, because if you're feeling out of sorts on the inside, it will come out sideways at everybody around you. And the one piece of advice that we don't take ourselves is be happy. Be
Mhm.
happy. If where you're sitting now doesn't make you happy, get up and move to another seat. Do something. If you believe life is misery and that's all there is to it, that's exactly what you're going to get. So, guys, be happy. Be
Yeah,
happy.
absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
I don't get to have
Absolutely.
everything I want right now in my life, because if I got everything I wanted in my life, I mean, that'd be great. But you know what? I'm really happy with what I have, and I'm happy with the possibilities of what's coming next.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing is the more you can be happy with yourself, the better you're going to be happier with sharing yourself with someone else, you know? And that's the thing, and then you could be like, yep, I cleaned up my house as best as I could, and this is it. This is it. This is me, and this is it.
Two unhappy people don't work, people. It's
No.
like a friend of mine says, it's a great, two dead batteries can't jumpstart a car. All right.
Oh
So
shit.
if you got two people, you're both dead batteries, nobody's going to make anybody happy. It's not going to happen. You've got to find a
No.
way to be happy, and, and keep the people in your life that you love. I'm not throwing people away anymore. There's people in my life that I love, that I will always love, and they'll always be in my life. And I'm not throwing people away anymore, but I'm also not going to keep people hijacked and hijack myself and keep myself prisoner and stay in misery.
No.
Letting go is, listen, it's not easy.
No.
It's not easy, but it is absolutely freeing. It really is.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
that's all I can say. I mean, find something to do to light you up and let go of shit. That's all.
Yep, yep. Well, like I said, it's one of those things. I said to one of my friends, they called me from back east, and their phone was down, and they hadn't been able to call me and go, you know what, this is nice. I said, I realized how alone I am here. I have like nobody to hug, nobody to kiss. My kids are all grown up. I said I'm alone. They're like, oh, okay. I go, no, this is great. I have nobody to bitch with. I have nobody to argue with. I said, I love this. I'm so grateful. They're like, okay, it doesn't sound like. I said, no, I am. I'm so happy. I said, I am so grateful. I said, because you got to be careful what you wish for out there, man. People want these relationships, but you got to be careful when you put your catalog out there. You got to put everything you want. You always put, make sure you order exactly what you want, because, you might get a lot of things that you didn't wish for, so be careful what you want out there, man. And so you're better off picking somebody or something that, it's sad to see two people together that are freaking alone. More alone than me being by myself. They don't talk. They don't do nothing together. They just bitch and moan.
Yeah. And that's like I said, it's two empty cups, Nobody could offer anybody anything, even if you want to. You want to badly. I want to share and I want to do things, but you feel empty inside. And it's because you're not, you haven't figured out how to love yourself yet, how to be okay yourself. And, my journey now takes me into a place where, what the hell are you doing?
I'm trying to get the blurriness from out.
I don't know what's going to happen in my future, but what I do know is I'm on this journey of figuring out who Scott is and who Scott wants to be, and fix the things in me that I don't like about myself. And that's a journey that you kind of have to do on your own. Because I'm never going to be any good for anybody else. I'll be your best friend, and I could love a lot of people, and I could be there, and I could do. But to have that real close relationship, I'm never going to be able to have that until I figure some of these things out myself. And I think everybody deserves that part of their journey. Now, some people, maybe you're already married, maybe you're already in those things, and you feel like you're kind of stuck. Well, you got to find a way to kind of find those things in yourself, even during that process, which I wasn't capable of doing for most of my life. So I'm a late starter, we'll say. We're always growing. We're always growing. You're absolutely right, Sandra. We're always growing. A friend of mine asked me, it says, when are you going to stop learning new things? And I said, when I'm dead.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to know more. And that's why I took up the painting and stuff. Should I show everybody
Yes.
This is my latest.
Look how talented this guy is.
Freddie Mercury. Is part of my Rock and Roll Heroes series that I started painting. So I've done Elvis, I've done Tom Petty, I've done Jim Morrison, and now Freddie Mercury. And I just put a thing on Facebook. I'm asking, who should I do next? Who should I do next?
You're awesome.
But that's part of my journey, finding out new things about myself. I didn't know I could paint. I didn't know I could do those things.
That's awesome.
And it's, now I can't stop.
That's awesome.
I can't stop. Thank you, Sandra.
He's going to have a collection, and I'm going to have to go over there. I already have some ideas with this collection. So, NFT it. Yeah, we got lots of ideas. NFT. Yeah, he's not there yet, but yeah, that's what.
What's NFT?
Oh, yeah. That's just
What's NFT?
NFT.
Is that like WTF?
No. WTF? Yeah.
Is that like ASS? What is NFT?
Oh my God!
OMG!
Bitcoin, they've you can it's in a whole different galaxy.
Is that people can't just say sell it? You got to come up with new shit all the time.
Well, Michael's probably going to be trying to tell.
Michael said Willie Nelson.
No, he said Willie Nelson. Oh yeah,
that's not bad. It's Heroes of Rock and Roll, but Willie Nelson, he's rock and roll enough for me. He stuck the government for a lot of money, so he's rock and roll to me. I'm trying to do artists who have passed away, but just because I don't want anybody coming back on me and getting mad. But I think Willie's dead, isn't he?
No, Willie's still around, isn't he?
I think he died. He just forgot to fall down. I think he's kind of still upright, but he's just preserved from all the marijuana or something.
I don't know.
I love Willie.
I don't know. There's a lot of Willie lookalikes around. And whatnot.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
All
Who
right,
knows?
cool.
But I want to take a moment and talk about something near and dear to your heart as far as the fentanyl situation. You want to take a minute and talk about that?
Yeah. And I brought it up before. I'm not going to beat it to death in front of everybody. Everybody knows who I am and what I do. I work with addicts and alcoholics. I work with people with mental health disorders. I try to get people help. My mission and my business partner, Karen, and our mission is we travel, we speak to people, we teach people, and we train people to do interventions and deal with addictions in their workplaces, in their communities, in their families. We work with first responders. Addiction is run rampant, and fentanyl now is it's the end all be all. This is the equalizer drug. If you've used for 1 day or 10 years, this drug will take you out just as fast. The difference between a good hit of fentanyl, if there is ever such a thing, and a bad hit of fentanyl is like 3 grains of sand. It's just impossible to tell. And fentanyl is now the number one cause of death for people between the ages of 19 and 45 in the United States. Number one cause. It has beaten cancer. It has beaten car accidents. It has beaten murders. It has beaten other forms of death. It has beaten suicide. It is now the number one cause of death. And it is the most preventable out of all of those. The most preventable. And the only way it's going to prevent it if we all get up together, we create a movement, we have boots on the ground, and we say enough is enough. We help people who need the help. Stop looking down at people who are having a problem and start lifting them up. There's no greater way to elevate yourself than to getting down on one knee and helping another human being. So please join us. You can check us out at atceducation.com. You can always reach us through Lynn, me. Yep. You can always reach out to us if you want to know more information, if you want to become an interventionist, if you want to make a difference, if you want to do something, stop talking about it. Stop talking about it. The day I never want to ever again hear, I lost my brother, but I didn't know what to say. I don't ever want to hear that again. So join us. Lynn, thanks for the platform. I appreciate it. I know, of course. I do it every week, but this is not something that's going away, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. And you want to read that real quick, and then I'm going to go up to Christopher Rausch.
The TCCAT, our overdose community action team, is looking to start a podcast focused on men to talk about the stigma and risk of the tainted poison supply. We are losing 6 people a day. Wow. Listen, Sandra, anything I could do to help out, I've got a couple of studios. I got one in my home, one in my office. If there's something I could do to help out with any of those things, I run a lot of different podcasts. Oh, join me next Monday night for Live Out Loud.
Yes.
Showing the lighter side of recovery and the fun we have. But yeah, people, I applaud anybody who's willing to take a stand.
Christopher, what's up, you rock stars?
rock stars. It's like a Boston thing. Rock star.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, I'm live right now.
Great to see you. Yeah. I'm out in the backyard writing the future best-selling book and future movie. Oh, he's out writing a book and a movie.
I love it. Yeah, and Christopher Rausch has his show later on tonight, so hopefully you'll check him out on the Pacific Coast.
Yeah, that comes on 10 o'clock Eastern time, and then you guys figure out the rest.
Yep, and maybe, like I said, maybe I can grab him next Monday or next Tuesday or the following Tuesday to co-host with me.
Yeah, so now that you're listening, Chris, I'm going to be out of town for 2 weeks, so if you can help Lynn out, I'd appreciate it, brother. And I got your back. I'm going to be I'll be joining Chris on his show sometime in the next month or so. We're setting that up, so that'll be fun, and hopefully he'll be able to put up with me. Therese added that Willie Nelson is alive and kicking at 88 years old.
Yes.
Holy cow. Thanks, Therese. 88 years old.
Oh, good. Christopher said he'd love to settle in, so maybe Christopher Rausch next Tuesday with
Chris,
me.
My brother from another mother, my man of the mystic. Just don't outshine me, brother. Don't outshine me. I don't want to come back in 2 weeks and Lynn's like, we don't need you anymore. It's the Lynn and Christopher show.
No, we're actually, he and I are going to have a pop-up sometime. So no, don't you, I'm not going to replace you. You're my forever. You're my forever.
The new title of the show is As
forever.
We See It, and we don't give a shit what Scott thinks.
No, bullshit. You're my forever first boyfriend. You can't be replaced.
All right. No, we're good.
You know, Joni had Chachi. I have you. What the heck? Come on, dude. I'll swing it to me. It'll be worth it.
Oh, don't be doing that, brother.
Oh my gosh, I'm cracking up over here, you guys. See? And he'll probably be singing, "Let it go, let it go."
Let it go. There you go.
Oh my gosh. Oh, jump. Look, he's talking like my dad already. Puerto Rican. Jump. That's how me and Steve talk about my dad. Jump. How'd you doing?
How'd you doing? Jump.
You doing good. You know, speaking of my dad.
You doing the podcast?
He got a little Chihuahua, Jack Russell. And I called him the other day and I said, Dad, how's he doing? He's doing good. And I go, how's he doing? He goes, oh, he's a little pain in the ass. I said, well, Dad, you're a little pain in the ass sometimes too. So you guys are doing great together, right?
Yeah, those little dogs. I love those little dogs with those little chihuahuas. They're awesome, man. I love those.
Oh my gosh.
Let me see. Have to hop on a meeting, but great to catch you live.
Thank you,
Pam.
Pamela.
Thanks for joining us.
I love
you. For a little bit.
Thank you, Pamela. Oops. Oh, wait. I don't know what I'm doing here. Hey.
Hey. Now, great. We have from Joni Chachi to Fonzie now. Hey. All right.
Hey. Oh, my gosh.
Good Lord.
So you see, and that's the other thing, you guys. When you let go of things that don't serve you, it gives you room for things that do serve you. You know, you can't serve evil and you can't serve, you can't serve good and bad at the same time.
No.
You can't have both. And you might as well serve something that's going to serve you better than what's been serving you all along. You can't keep doing the same thing and expect the same, the different outcome. And so
absolutely.
I hope more than anything that this has helped some people know that that thinking different and feeling different will give you a different result. And I'm just grateful that we had this conversation, and I think it's interesting how Teresa came about with the thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that everyone was on board with, one thing: trust your gut. If your gut's telling you that you're not where you belong, then maybe you're not where you belong. The other thing is that you're right, Lynn. You can't serve two masters. You can't serve positive and negative at the same time. Mm-hmm. That's the person who won't lift their foot off the tarmac. They want to get on a plane to Miami from New York. But until you lift that foot, you're never leaving where you're at. You have to lift that foot up. You have to cut ties. You have to break away from what you know to gain something new. And that is the scariest thing in the world, is opening up that space. It's the wise man who goes to the shaman, or the guy who goes to the wise man on the hill and says, "Give me knowledge," but his cup is full, and he says, "I can give you nothing. You're full." You've got to let go of some things in order to gain new things.
Absolutely.
And we let go of our children. We let them leave the nest so that they can go out and live their lives. But we get to gain something by enjoying them in their lives on the outside. And then we get grandkids, and then we get this and we get that, and all these little rewards. And if we coddled them and held them and didn't let them go, we would miss out on that whole part of life. So people, just, if you want something new, be willing to let go of what you got. That's all.
Absolutely.
Who's sending us hugs? Who's
sending Christopher? Nice to see you.
Hugs for you, I would assume.
Yes.
All right.
I'll take them.
Right.
You know me.
I'll take a high five there, Chris.
Yeah. Hey, you know me. I'm a hugger. So.
Yeah.
So, but that's the things. If you want things to change, you definitely have to change your mindset. You have to realize that what you're thinking is not good. How many times do we worry, Scott, about things that never happen?
That's what worry is. That's
And that
what worry
worry
is.
and worry
Worry and
should,
fear, 99% of worry and fear is all about things that are not occurring, but could occur, but are not occurring. You know, if you were standing up on the ground and you're standing on a piece of wood that's 1 by 1, it's like a tile in the kitchen, 1 foot by 1 foot tile, and you're standing on that tile in your kitchen, are you afraid? No, of course you're not afraid. Of course you're not afraid. But if you take that same tile, put it 50 feet in the air, and you have to stand on that tile, you're scared to death.
yes.
You've got the same amount of footing that you had when you were on the ground. You've got the same stability that you had when you were on the ground. The difference is we create what can happen. We start creating scenarios. That's where fear and that's where worry and everything else comes from. It's about creating scenarios instead of realizing my feet are still on solid ground.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I'm 50 feet in the air, I'm still solid. And if we can center ourselves and be okay with ourselves, all those fears and everything kind of drift away a little bit. I'm not saying we can live a life free of fear or worry. We can't. But there could be a whole lot less if you just realize everything that I'm fearful and worried about are things that have not occurred and probably will not occur.
Well, it's just like training wheels, or when gymnastics, you start out in the the bars, right? Just the line. You work
Yeah.
on the line, and then you go up the steps. And the same thing goes with you go on the highway at nighttime. You're doing 70 miles an hour in the dark,
Yeah.
and you do it every day, right? I mean, like, what the heck?
Right. It's just by sheer practice that we're not terrified.
Right.
But imagine somebody who'd never been on the highway in the dark at night. They would be
Right.
terrified. They'd think about every little thing. Right. They've got other cars coming, and they got like deer running out and Sasquatches coming out of the woods and coming after them. All those things happen in our heads.
Yep.
And I'll tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you, there's a little something for everybody out there. I still, because I got the spare bathroom that I rarely use because I am alone in the house, and I got my bathroom in the master bath. I'll still go in there every once in a while and have to look behind the curtain to make sure nobody's in there. I'm sitting there watching TV, and I'll think, I have not looked in that bathroom in a while. What if somebody's in the shower? And I'll go out to look behind the curtain. It's just irrational. It's crazy. But you know what? I laugh at it and I enjoy it. And it's just one of my little idiosyncrasies.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I can't believe I told you that.
You know what?
It's that's
funny,
one of my little secrets.
You gotta walk out of that room. And I bet you tonight when you leave that room,
I'm going to check the bathroom. I'm already thinking about it. I might bring a bat with me this time.
Oh,
nobody's stalking me. I'm not that important.
Yeah.
Christopher said, hi, Scott. Sorry I'm coming late. Must have missed a lot. Hey, you could always watch the recording, brother.
It's all right. Better late than never. We appreciate it. But anyways, I think we're going to wrap it up tonight, sir. What do you think?
I think so, too. It's good to have everybody joining us again.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Therese, the boogeyman's in there. And I love watching scary stuff. And I love watching scary stuff. And there's always like some murder thing or something. And I'm watching like serial killer crap. And then you get up and you're walking around the house and you hear every little thing goes on in the house. And you're like, oh, man, okay.
Greg.
Yeah.
Greg.
I would, that's not how that's not how I'm going to go. I'm never going to be that famous like that, killed by a serial killer or anything. Me, I couldn't get bit in a pool full of piranha. I got no luck. So I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, my gosh. Well, you know what? That's a fear you're going to have to let go on our show.
I'm going to let it go. Let it go.
We'll get you to sing that song yet one day. Anyways, You guys, thank you so much for you guys. So Scott won't be here the next 2 weeks, but we wish you a safe travels. And who knows, maybe you can pop in and just say hi to us or something.
I'll do a little pop in from the old telephone there. So, yeah, I'll be in with you.
Okay, love you, Scott. Everybody,
love you
stay
too,
right there. Okay, hold on. You guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.